help. There was no cover. Hiko's just able to swing and challenge and trade that kill out. They're going to be able to work their way towards A.
Those paint shells actually do a good deal of damage to both Ethan and Steel, who unwittingly were sprinting towards what potentially could have been another kill there for XSET. Pure does get a heal from his Sage teammate, so despite the fact that he was dropped low early on, he'll be able to recover and recuperate somewhat. 35 seconds left on the clock, and 100 Thieves have regrouped towards Catwalk and are making their way back towards A, Doug.
There are a couple of members of XSET waiting, but you saw even then, 100 Thieves took A long just to get another ult orb into the hands of Asuna. Again, really highlighting the importance, the value that they place on that ultimate, but now they're working their way on A with 15 seconds left. Asuna kind of dancing around the site. Good nano swarm to delay things as the spike goes down. Now XSET looking to see what they can do for a retake. A great wall. As Ethan's in a really good spot again, just to delay, right? Like, make him think twice about it, not give any easy entrance onto the site, but XSET are running out of time. They're going to have to go, and they're going to have to go here soon. A couple of kills traded early on. There's just one left. Again, it's Aaron. We've seen him in situations like this a couple of times where he's looking. He has no idea where the remaining members of 100 Thieves are. Steel's able to clean him up. Hiko got in on the action as well. 100 Thieves won the first pistol of the series.
Just so much post-plant utility there available for 100 Thieves. You have nano swarms being layered at heaven. You've got the barrier orb in front of the door, and that at least is gonna, it's not only just another layer that they have to shoot through, but the angles get so much more severe, and you've got a vertical one to deal with as well on top of the wall. That was BCJ finding one, but it's tough to be in that spot and want to retake all your teammates through one spot when all that utility's still left. And pays off for 100 Thieves, who 2 players remaining did claim that first pistol. And early on, we see We Did over here towards A, perhaps speaking with this Bucky at A main, which all weekend we've seen, you know, obviously teams playing with the Buckies in both A main and B main aggressively trying to find the opening pick for their teams. And I feel like more often than not, especially on Ascent, you know, the defenders are able to find that. So be a test for We Did perhaps at another time, as 100 Thieves are electing to regroup, perhaps more likely move back towards B.
Now, in normal situations like this, you expect the team that wins the pistol to be able to really dispose of the opposing team with relative ease, but it is worth noting XSET did force. You highlighted the Bucky in the hands of Weeded. Thwyfo has one as well, and 3 Spectres the rest of the way. So XSET really looking, they're gambling, right? It's a gamble. Let's call it what it is, but they're really looking to mess up the economy of 100 Thieves if they can make something happen. Ethan with a cheeky wall spot. Good for one onto BCJ, and a second one as well. And you're seeing that investment not quite pay off. Yeah, Aaron got one, but 100 Thieves are still in such a strong position where Thwyfo has to make some magic happen, and he's gonna get a chance. Good for one. Swings around, there's no one else home. Nitro's in a good spot where he can really play spoiler. We did get gets tagged up. He has to back off, and he's gonna get paranoid as well. Can't really, they've got to deal with Nitro, right? Like, you can't ignore him. We did was in a brutal spot there. He gets cleaned up. Thwyfo Spectre is the last thing that stands for XSET.
Nitro finds that. Thwyfo falls. And harkening back to Icebox for just a moment, Doug. On the opening attack side for 100 Thieves, we must have seen probably in the ballpark of 5 frags or so that were consistently being added to the board for 100 Thieves by the side of you know, by virtue of the fact that that lurk is just so potent. Right. Nitro's so wise in his steps, making sure that his timing is correct when he's ready to actually strike. And it's not an empty lurk. It's not as though those kills are just, you know, coming the way they're easy or whatever, because more often than not, it's coming on retakes, right? Like the lurks are coming through, backstabbing and pinching on teams, caught unawares, and Steel is just armed with a ghost, catching a lot of that tiles and B main aggression. All of XSET has pushed up at some point in this round somewhere, and now quick reaction from 100 Thieves to move towards A. To get a free site plant. Austin finds Thwyfo.
Does absolute chaos in the opening moments of the round, and that's what nets 100 Thieves enough real estate to get the spike down. And remember, folks, because of the force that XSET had in the previous round, they don't bring a lot into this one. A Sheriff, a Ghost is all that remains in the hands of Weeded. And Aaron Weeded drops. Aaron again, alone. He landed a nice shot on the Steel, but Steel's Ghost was just enough to clean things up. I like what we saw out of Exit there, right? Like understanding you're in a pistol, just full send, right? Cause chaos. See if you can emerge from the madness in an advantageous position. And unfortunately for them, 100 Thieves read the map perfectly. They worked their way towards A, and they had full control. And then from that point on, it was just very difficult for Exit to get much going.
Yeah, just a quick ABC protocol, knowing that they're getting pushed that hard over at B. 100 Thieves immediately sprints through and clears A main. Just an excellent reaction from 100 Thieves. And I think, you know, moving into this first gun round, Doug, I won't say that there's a whole lot that we can read into from it, but 100 Thieves are sure looking crisp, and Exit, perhaps after losing map 1, losing pistol, being down 3-0, early run it back up market past Pizza for Asuna. Catching a quick Vandal shot from BCJ to end it. Finding one more on the Steal, a second one. Viper trades it out, but now it's a 4-on-3, so make it a 3-on-3. Finding a second on the Weeded.
He gets the spike, and he's going to from the shadows back into the back of the site. Aaron drops as well. They're going to have full access onto B. They should be able to get the spike down. Nitro does. Pure and Thwifo looking to retake the site. Grenades come through and hurts. Right, it's just enough to reposition and get the kill, but Ethan trades it back out. Ethan, Thwifo in a 1v1. Thwifo swings. It was Ethan who's trying to get the jump on it, but Thwifo's the one who walks away from that victorious to get Exit the first round of the map.
The pull-out animation just a bit too slow. What a nade from Pure there. I mean, it was a 2-on-2, and you were basically facing a fully healed Nitro planting a spike in the backside, and paint shells just rain from above. And that's a very important round for Exit, getting their first on the board. And I mean, they've done a decent job, Doug, of managing and mitigating the strength of the bank account on 100 Thieves. That they've gotten on these ego rounds, you know, usually 2 or 3 kills, seems like. So moving into round 5, you have the potential, not necessarily to fully reset, but I can watch this all day. We did. I can watch it all day, man. Play more Viper. But anyway, 100 Thieves, this isn't a great, you know, outlook. It was really looking like they had a few rounds to work with financially, and they're going to want to win this one now. Early blaze wall from Asuna A main, and the Hunter's Fury to back it up and create some space. He does find a tag, make it 2 in a frag on a Pure. He falls to Hiko's Hunter Fury.
Cosmic Divide comes through as well as you see members of Exit start to rotate towards A. Spike hasn't fully committed. Now they're creeping their way forward. Big kill. As Weeded drops, there's no additional pressure coming from Heaven right now, as BCJ just has to like slowly and carefully creep his way forward. Spots one. Onto Hiko and gets tagged up. He has to step back. Now he does have his own Hunter's Fury. And you see they're just all funneling in from the same spot, right? That makes it so much more difficult to get onto the site. Again, 100 Thieves very confident in taking control of the site before they get the spike down, get everything that they want, ensure that they have full control of where they want to be, and Exit cannot find a way in. You see Thwifo and Aaron both going for the fences, trying to save those rifles into the next round as 100 Thieves look to get another one. A 5-2 as far as personnel goes. 4-1 here for them in just a few moments. 100 Thieves, they look good, Lex.
I love that reaction from 100 Thieves. I'm not quite sure. They know at least that, you know, you've got a soft hold coming in from a Viper most rounds at A main. So you do have to wait out the first snake bite, but, you know, the Hunter's Fury doesn't really... kind of bypasses all of that, and so a quick unfolding of some utility as Aaron's getting hunted back in Boathouse. Thwifo will be the first. He actually does get some consolation frags for his troubles. And hey, listen, I was talking about the, you know, the big bank account that 100 Thieves had built up suddenly was being whittled away at, right? So if they had left all 5 players alive for 100 Thieves, you know, they could be buying for the next 2 rounds seemingly without effort. And now those 3 kills may actually be more important than it seemed, as their bank account is being moderated, I think, sufficiently, just making sure that they're not able to run away with things. But they are up 4-1 now. 100 Thieves is looking good.
Early Viper spit usage on B, and a Bucky waiting on the other side.
Not the lockdown, though. It's going to be tough.
We saw it was actually Asuna who felt so confident in just pushing into the Viper pit on Icebox. Get everything he wanted. There's the lockdown that you mentioned. Now, BCJ does have a Hunter's Fury. It looks like they're just going to choose to wait it out, not cancel it. As step out of Viper's pit and they work their way forward. Yeah, they're getting tagged up. Aaron gets good for one. Weeded works his way back, and he's going to drop, not even getting a chance. Never spotted. One, the paranoia coming out from Nitro. Steel joins the fold again. And through all of that, 100 Thieves still haven't made their way onto the site. Aaron's in a great spot for one, but it's Pure, actually, who cleans him up. Ethan swings out and gets one as well. Now 100 Thieves have a bit more room to work with. They have some breathing room, and man, they mow XSET down.
All right, you call a timeout right here, and I want to hear the argument that is sure to be ensuing as Pure drops a nade directly onto Aaron's head. I'm almost certain that's just what happened. Aaron almost had the lineup for multiple kills, had to move and swing out of position to avoid it. Tragic stuff. Pure was caught behind like 3 different sets of obscuration. There was no way he could see where his teammate was. Unfortunate stuff there, because it did seem as though 100 Thieves was walking directly into, you know, a crossfire from hell, just 3 players awaiting them to come out. Instead, they're going to claim their 5th, and this is, I mean, said they looked good last round, Doug, but they're looking near flawless in their execution onto the sites here.
Now, it is worth noting, Aaron was the only one who had a rifle in that last round, so financially, yeah, they invested the Viper's pit, but that was really all they invested.
They drew a lockdown out of it, too.
They did, yeah. Absolutely right. Asuna. Oh, my. Asuna gets one draw, and all their ultimates used as well. The showstopper, and that doesn't net a ton either. So you see 2 ultimates really invested for very little there.
Question now is, what kind of information is available to XSET? Is loudly 100 Thieves is showing that they're rotating back towards A. Hey, we're going over here now. They're resetting back towards the Bravo site, it would seem. Asuna throwing the misdirection, giving it a little bit of juice, but on the receiving end of that was, I believe that's Aaron on the other side of that wall. He knows nobody's coming A.
Right.
30 seconds left.
Right, and you even saw members of XSET start to creep towards A, but then they pull back. You still have Pure, who's on the site. BCJ's in a great spot. He's going to get smoked off. His rifle drops as well. BCJ having to use the Hunter's Fury, and nobody really able to push him aggressively here. BCJ good for one. Nitro managed to take the middle of the map as he once again finds himself behind Weeded. Hiko looking to get the plant down. He's gonna have to do it very quickly as Weeded gets a big kill. Again, still having to respect where Nitro is. Sniffs it out, is able to land it. A 2v2 here as Weeded just down to 59 health. You're gonna have to play this very carefully. Nice thing is they do have some time to use some of Aaron's utility as they creep forward. You're seeing both pushing in from opposite sides as they look to see how they get in here. Running out of time. There's no more time, really. Ethan already drops, and Hiko drops as well. XSET, they were careful, they were methodical, they were diligent, and it pays off.
Wow. And honestly, we did the hero of this retake. Finally, you know, 2 maps in, somebody has put a stop to Nitro's shenanigans in the mid lurk. I mean, the worst part about it, if you're XSET, is not only is he finding his mark and he's finding the frags, but even when he's not, he's just a constant threat. There's no way you can just ignore it. You can't just discount it entirely. It's the back in the, or it's the knife in the back that is just eternally looming over you.
Right.
And they grab their second, a costly 2nd round win. So just a Spectre on Thwifo seems like, but you know, a much needed round win is face the potential of max money 100 Thieves across the board, potentially losing the half. Now they're very much back in it now.
Making a good bit of noise towards B, using that drone early on as well, but you see the spike is waiting back. I mean, back in their spawn. On A side, waiting to see if anyone's going to push through from XSET to aggressively take a bit of space away or try to. Ethan once again getting up top. You saw Nitro use it from the shadows to get back on the back of B. The Cosmic Divide's going to come out as well, and we did. But Weeded's got to be careful on the timing because he goes just on the other side as well. Weeded is able to take care of one, and he gets dropped almost instantly. But that's going to be enough information for them to get the spike and really book it. But again, look at where Aaron is. Aaron's in a spot where you can't rotate out through tree if you want to go back towards the middle of the map, where you think some of that is safe because of where Ethan is. They have to stick to A here. They're stuck.
This is so awkward.
Asuna not able to get the spike down. Thought about it. Meanwhile, Nitro dies on the other side of the map. You remember he used that 100 sphere, or excuse me, from the shadows early on. He drops as chaos continues to ensue on A, certainly going in favor of XSET as they have the numbers advantage. 2 members remaining for 100 Thieves. And they're certainly not healthy. Asuna weak. Hiko dead. 4v1. Defense of the Alamo type stuff here, and it's not going to pan out. As he drops, BCJ takes care of him. XSET get the defuse as they get to 3. And Lex, was it a little too fancy? I mean, what went wrong there?
I think they didn't expect from the side of XSET to just kind of like have 100 Thieves everywhere on the map at once, and it like the rotations were very messy at first. Like it was a very convoluted response to what was going on. But I think Thwifo really was the key piece, just making sure like, hey, Nitro definitely just, you know, from the shadows into the back of boat. Like I need to stay here, and not knowing where the rest of the side of 100 Thieves was, it just seemed as though XSET accidentally found themselves in a perfect read where not a lot they could do. Nitro was basically stuck. Had to walk into the crosshair of Thwifo, who was the only underfunded player in that round holding a Spectre. So,
uh-oh. I hear that. I should hear that. Yep. Nitro gets cleaned up. They don't have great weapons. Excuse me, they do have rifles across the board. Here we go. Asuna using the run it back to create some space across tree. XSET patiently waiting it out, wanting to push through or give any early kills away. They handle that fine. But there's certainly more where that came from as Asuna continues to follow up. Hiko using Hunter Siri, not going to tag anything up. But the spike does go down. Asuna's still trying to play like interference, right? Play defender, not let anyone in from tree. As Steel looks to do the same up in heaven. Ethan's getting in on the action as well. It's a difficult site to retake in a position like this, but Aaron looking to do what he can. BCJ trying to as well. As he gets things down to a 1v1, he's only got 10 health left though.
ooh.
And Steel comes up huge with the Guardian.
Huge kills with the Guardian there, and wow, that was a very close clutch attempt from BCJ, and it was a much needed one. Their money is still in shambles. And on the other side of things, 100 Thieves, who were strapped a bit in the previous round, have basically put themselves in a position to not only win the half, but do so with full weaponry. Actually, as I'm saying that, you don't really have anything on the side of, well, I guess you're one off of having Hunter's Fury if you can somehow get control of a main, but you know, the Viper's Pit for We Did has not panned out so far in this series, really. Ethan winning the opening duel.
Yeah, a couple of early kills being traded off, and you mentioned the Viper's Pit last time we saw it. It was in a weird lighter buy, and they just aggressively used it early on to negate some of that space. But here we see 100 Thieves looking to push in aggressively themselves. Ball's gonna go up. Bucky on the other side goes just a bit wide as Asuna punishes that. Yeah, Pure trades it out. But now 100 Thieves are in a position where tied up 3-3 here. They drew a bit of utility out on A. They made a ton of noise. They can reset the map because Nitro, once again, is being a nuisance.
BCJ staying home, and this is brilliant, but look at this angle from Nitro. He's not aware of it, yet he gets the headshot, finds one. Steel cleans it up. Now it's a 2-1-2. That's the Hunter's Fury out of play, and now it's Pure and Thwifo to retake against Steel and Hiko at B.
And not just Steel and Hiko, but the lockdown as well. Hiko getting the spike down.
You should run.
And there's utility as well. There we see that lockdown coming out early on, just buying time, right? You have to respect it, so you just delays to where the only time you really have access to get back into the site is when there are only a few seconds left, and you have to play aggressively. You have to play quickly. And here we go. Pure and Thwifo slowly working their way forward. Again, there's Killjoy utility waiting for them. There's a turret, a nano swarm, an alarm bot, everything. And then if that's not enough, it steals Vandal. It takes care of Pure. Thwifo looking to be a hero for XSET. You got 3 different things shooting at him at one time. He doesn't get a chance to really get much of anything off. As Steel gets 3, 100 Thieves gets 7 as they continue to pile it onto XSET.
Yeah, nice round there from Steel. Basically putting his team in a position to run away with the half now. Attempting the heroics, and the truth is, unless he's able to kill all 3 of those players with his rifle, I mean, he had the utility, he had the Hunter's Fury available to him, but you know, when you're over there towards Switch, there's just not a whole lot of opportunity to use any of that. So 7-3 now, 100 Thieves in a commanding fashion. winning already the ground advantage for the first half. Potentially looking to close things out with an 8 or 9 round scoreline because, I mean, XSET, who I've touched on 3 or 4 rounds in a row now, Doug, about how dangerously close they've come to a financial ruin. They're back on 3 Buckies, a Sheriff, and a Spectre.
Yeah.
That can't feel good.
Oh, and you wonder. It's just hard from a financial perspective. How much longer can you find yourself in this less than ideal position? And look, like XSET, so they put up that Viper's Pit, early on to delay and at least deny information in A and across the middle of the map as well. But they just feel so confident working their way through. Nitro pushes his way forward. Here they go towards B. Couple Buckies waiting on the other side, and yeah, they're gonna get info from that start, but here they go. Asana's wall goes up. He's able to work his way across safely, potentially looking to get his way behind the wall. He does just that as he takes care of Weeded, takes care of the Waipo as well, looking for more, drops Pure 3. Aaron alone. Eco's gonna get the spike down. He has a Spectre, and he's able to clean up Asana.
What a round from Asana. Just creating so much space through the site.
And that was without, that was without an ult, right? Like, you just feel the presence of him on the site.
8-3 now. I mean, that execute, like you said, you kind of get the information. BCJ spots the L drone, is able to put up a recon dart. Weedid's even playing from Switch. They've got an interesting crossfire going over there, but you know, as soon as that blaze wall comes out, you've got the Viper wall up. Omen smokes get deployed. Somehow Asana is just able to weave his way through all of it. Finds 3 kills from behind on the unsuspecting defenders of XSET. And, you know, they haven't looked bad in this half, Doug, but 100 Thieves is just looking, to me anyway, they look that good.
Middle of the map, at least not an easy option. I won't say it's not an option, as 100 Thieves have managed to navigate their way around that Viper's Pit a couple of times in this series, but certainly won't be an easy one as you see Weeded creeping his way forward. Good one onto Asana as well. There's that run it back off the board as BCJ's getting in a little bit of love as well with his Hunter's Fury. Still a problem as Hiko comes back up, so you get some info and you draw out that ultimate, but you aren't able to punish it, right? You're not able to trade it back. 100 Thieves are getting closer and closer towards A. The spike's on the site. The Cosmic Divide is going to come out. And that should section things off, but there's really nobody there to help punish that, right? There's nothing to stop them from working their way through the Cosmic Divide right now.
Yeah, a little bit of a preemptive pull on that, however. Paint shells rain in, nano swarms go out, all the utilities being dispensed. Pure pops the showstopper.
1-for-1, behind the gen, he gets it. Ethan gets punished. I mean, instantly swings, gets punched in the mouth. Eco looking to get one with his Hunter's Fury. He does just that, looking for a second, gets it. But that's all he's able to get. As XSET managed to clean up the remaining members of 100 Thieves, Pure is going to get the defuse. And it was a great half from 100 Thieves, but XSET managed to eke out the very last one.
Yeah, not a bad finish. I mean, a really strong retake showing finally, you know, after so many rounds where 100 Thieves is able to get onto site. And at least today, I don't recall any rounds where XSET was able to successfully retake it until then. So really things started off with that Viper Pit at mid. Getting really cheeky with the refrigerator push, just finding one towards tiles. And Eco narrowly, I mean, look how close this is. He does so much damage, almost pulls up one of his patented 1v3s or 1v4s, whatever it was. You almost got to see the Hiko magic unfold. Instead, XSET managed to get their 4th. 100 Thieves, who dominated throughout this game, looking to just continue things with this pistol here.
You'll see XSET play around on the attacking side, play around that Viper's wall a lot, and I think a lot of it is conditioning, right? Like, are we going to push through the wall? Are we not? We'll see them do that almost consistently as the madness ensues across the pistol round. Weedid's already able to get 2, and yeah, a couple got traded back from 100 Thieves, but with that, they have the understanding that they're certainly not going to be able to go towards A. They're going to hightail it back towards B, and Steel's waiting.
And he's got his full kit ready for them. Now, he gets the information right now with that Aldrun. Okay, it's coming B. Rotations are going to be late. Let's see what he can do.
Wall coming up. Should be able to clear things out over market. Steel just continuing to buy time. Look at how much was delayed. Right? Now they're going to continue to creep their way forward, but members of 100 Thieves have already taken so much space. They're basically there. Aaron's in a good spot to play. Interference, so is Steel, goes in aggressive, takes care of the Wi-Fi. He's only got 22 health left, though. ECJ in a great spot. Ethan looking to play heroics. Good for one. Aaron taps.
30 seconds left.
He's got armor, and he gets the kill on to Ethan. XSET take the round.
Bold move, Aaron, and it pays off. Wow, I mean, Nitro dropping the dark cover right in front of Boathouse for Steel to play around in. He's got nano swarms to work with. Really, that looked like a horrible, horrible sight to be coming to late round in the pistol with those flanks coming in. Instead, Nitro gets caught off with his knife in hand. Ethan, who's always been so lethal on top of that wall boost, gets caught out by a jumping Aaron up onto that sidewalk position. And wow, a fantastic way to win a 1v1 on the pistol and maybe be able to bring his team back into this game where 100 Thieves have looked in control so much so far. They are willing to throw a lot of utility towards A main here, knowing that potentially 100 Thieves has made their way towards wine. They know it. Ethan falls. They're actually going to contest this, Doug.
I think we did manage to see him just by the narrowest of margins, but they look to punish that. And 100 Thieves, as you said, they contest it, they swing at the right time, and they're able to punch right back. Now, Weeded's going to get healed up a bit, but they don't have the numbers advantage. Technically, I mean, Austin has 7 health left. He's off the board now. Nitro got messed up pretty badly as well. As XSET look to push into 2 of the 3 remaining members of 100 Thieves by A.
Yeah. I don't think there'll be any rush to do so. Probably wait out for that Sage on Waifu to get healed back up for Aaron. And I'm sure 100 Thieves is aware of this, so both teams doing a quick reset, repositioning. Unfortunately for Nitro, limping around at 16 HP of his own. No teammate support to be able to drop him a heal. So with 30 seconds left, you know, Steel will stay home over here towards B, but it'll be Nitro looking to play spoiler from back one, and I think they just saw where that came from, right?
Yeah. Yep. We did once again wise on who's playing over in that spot in Wine from 100 Thieves. Eco's still on the site. Eco's good for 1.
10 seconds.
Takes care of Wi-Fi. They're going to have to hurry, right? And they're going to draw that out. Aaron's playing cover. Aaron's good for it, too, as he cleans up Eco. The spike goes down. Steel's going to show up, but he's going to show up late. And he's walking into a Spectre and a Bulldog with a Bucky.
This is not an easy clutch attempt.
No, and again, it's not just the 2 remaining members of XSET, it's the clock as well. That's not his friend. Aaron's Bulldog, he gets 3 on the round, cleans it up. XSET win the 2 rounds here to open the half. But now 100 Thieves find themselves at a position of strength. And we've seen a couple of times this series, Lex, where XSET, they get close to really blowing up economies, right, by winning the bonus. But it just narrowly doesn't pan out.
Yeah, somehow they've been struggling and I mean, ultimately failing to keep the economy of 100 Thieves in check since the beginning of Icebox. And it hasn't always necessarily burned them, but, you know, when we're talking about winning an OT by such a slim margin, looking back at it, you're like, those rounds were so crucial for us to win. We failed to do it. Now on Icebox, or sorry, on Ascent, you've got them in a similar position, and of course you've got Spectres, you've got a Bulldog. Not exactly a full rifle buy coming out from XSET, but still, you put 100 Thieves in this position where they basically have to win this round.
So you check out that wall went up early on from Thwifo, and Pure was able to look over towards Cat, make sure that nobody's pushing in towards Tree, right? After a bit of a delay there, that wall goes up towards Tree as well. So XSET don't have that option, while Steel's also playing towards A. There's a ton of information being gathered by what they're not seeing on that half of the map, and that's why 100 Thieves are able to cheat towards B as long as they are. Now that wall's going to go up again, though, and that's where you start to ask yourself, like, all right, Weeded's wall has gone up once, that's twice now. They weren't on the other side of it the first time around. You see them running out of time, and because of that, 100 Thieves can cheat a little bit more. Steel with the Bucky. Steel, good for 1. Nanoswarm drops. Again, the problem with this playstyle is that you run out of time, and there's really not a whole lot you can do. Steel gets the second one. Yeah, Aaron trades it out. Dwight looking for more. As Asuna's still up on top, man. And again, when you have that little time, your hand is forced.
Yeah, I mean, and this is something you see a lot amongst, I won't even call XSET, you know, a lower tier team or an inexperienced team at this point because, you know, they're rolling with the big dogs. But,
Right.
you know, I do wonder when we talk about the world-class kind of decision-making from 100 Thieves and how experienced these guys are, you know, it really shows in a round like that where XSET, they have the read. There's 4 members for 100 Thieves on the site, essentially, at B. You know this, and yet the hesitation is so fraught with just second-guessing throughout. That was a 15 to 20-second rotation, which really, if you just knife out, hit that 10-second window, you only face Steel there, and you maybe have 40 seconds left on the clock instead. Back onto a really broken buy. Actually, they're going to open things onto Steel with the frenzy that's pure in the A site. Nitro on a pin, just getting destroyed by Thwifo in a really tough spot to be in. It's a 3-on-5 retake now for 100 Thieves.
Lex, this is looking really good for XSET as they're going to get the Viper's Pit in there as well. Thwifo's in a decent spot. Weeded has to stay alive, though. Asuna using the run it back. The play into it, not even going to get a chance. He didn't even spot a single player. Nitro's going to come back up, but again, it's in a brutal spot. Asuna's going to have to do a little bit of rinse and repeat, and Aaron's in a spot to play spoiler, and he does it! He's good for 2 with the Spectre. Asuna, who's tried working his way into this Viper's Pit 2-3 times now, and has been met with no success once again. Weeded waiting on the other side. The Viper's Pit was exactly what the doctor ordered in that moment for XSET as they take the round.
What a wild round, man. And hey, I mentioned it, the Viper's Pit hasn't had a huge impact in this series so far, but see, just like everyone from 100 Thieves, not really quite sure how to handle it. Are we going to dive in? Are we going to go help Asuna? No. Flank was beautiful from Aaron. He's having one heck of a map, sitting at 21 and 10. Now, I haven't talked about scores very much throughout the series, but, you know, you look to a couple players here and there to really step up for their teams when it's these series, these maps can be this close. Well, Aaron, in a big way, is showing value to this team as XSET grabs their 7th and narrows the margin deficit behind 100 Thieves. It's the 2.
And I love what we see out of XSET here as 100 Thieves are on a weird buy. Still as a Bucky again, Hiko with a Ghost. But you see the value that they place and the creativity that they bring with the Sage, adding an element of verticality that you really don't see super often on Ascent, right? We saw it outside B. We just saw it there across the middle of the map as well. They're just able to add a wrinkle into things, and that was honestly one of the things that caused fits for Envy last night. And while 100 Thieves have the lead right now, we've seen moments where they're able to really hit in a way that hurts in those situations. And here we see 100 Thieves. They've managed to upgrade a couple of weapons. Seal's still just with the Bucky, but XSET have the numbers advantage.
Yeah, and it is so fun to watch, honestly. This new, I don't even know if it's new, but certainly something that I haven't witnessed them doing too often. But
30 seconds left.
XSET busting out those boosts often enough, hanging off in a big way. BCJ will be the first to fall on this A split. Nitro snapping to the head of the second. Doesn't grab the third as Pure will grab him, but that was a 1v2, and Aaron, who we just talked about as being the, you know, paramount player right now to be watching on the side of XSET.
10 seconds left.
Steel and Hiko, 2 of the hardest players you could be playing against right now. Hiko was having none of it. Aaron won't even get the spike down, but you know, you're still only 3 rounds away. 100 Thieves not quite on map point just yet, 10-7. And you were able to get a lot of space there. And honestly, Nitro just being so strong, just pivoting perfectly, finding the second, almost grabs the third, gets bailed out. But, you know, there was a moment there where XSET really had an opportunity to take the site.
They did, man, but Nitro, the mad lad Nitro, good for 2, and then it was just enough to where Hiko was able to swing and get the third, and the numbers advantage that they had just vanished, right? Like, it totally evaporated, and from there, they found themselves in a position of strength. 100 Thieves did, and at that point, it was easy. You mentioned it was Hiko and Steel on the other side, and Aaron's had himself an incredible map so far, but that's just so difficult to play into. So yeah, you mentioned that round going in favor of 100 Thieves. XSET looking to play hot and heavy towards B this round. Weird, decent, like mixed buy. Really, it's actually just Pure, who isn't going to bring a rifle into things. Aaron has light armor, but aggression from Asuna. as they push back. Dwifo got the wall up, and he spotted a couple of players across the middle of the map. The Hunter series going to come out as well as Dwifo takes care of the initial aggression from Asuna and drops down. Here comes Spear with the showstopper. Good for it. Steel drops. And Spear continues to look for more, dancing around the box. Gets the second one as well. What a strong response from XSET as 100 Thieves only have 2 members remaining. Hiko and Ethan going into a 2v5, and the spike is down as well. Post plant's fully online, but Ethan, good for 1. But man, that's just like, that's a drop in the bucket relative to the rest of what they're gonna have to do to take the site back, and they just back off.
Yeah, an impressive response is an understatement, in my opinion, for XSET there. That is a huge statement. Like, okay, you're gonna play 1 player over here, just gonna leave Asuna towards B? No, I don't think so. And what they ended up doing, I mean, getting that wall boost up just put so much pressure on the site defenders. Right. Just knowing that there's that additional angle, even Nitro from the shadows into the back of boat, struggling to deal with Dwifo, who really is just causing distraction, causing a nuisance. Right. And follow things up with a piggyback showstopper into market, and even your rotation falls. It's nothing but curtains for 100 Thieves, and XSET answering strongly. 10-8 now. Nice little footwork. Well done.
And like, look, man, how many times have we seen Asuna in that exact same moment, right? Curveballs, pushes, lands 2, maybe 3.
True.
He almost does it there too, right? But the fact that they were able to respond, he wasn't able to land any kills, had to back up. I really think that's what opened up the site for XSET. Not dropping those kills early on still gave them the ability to play from such a position of strength. Now we're seeing a bit of a mixed look, right? We saw heavy B last time. This time it's not full, but a lot of presence towards A. Dwifo still towards B, making sure there's nobody flowing through. BCJ, the 100 feet, man, he tags it. Nitro instantly.
Oh. Yeah, spotted him on the drone. Didn't get the tag, but
oh, man.
his awareness is just unparalleled right now. 5v3 already.
Dude, BCJ is on one. He's reading them, playing the map perfectly, reading it really well, able to get the kills with the Hunter Fury, and then having the presence of mind to know that they're being pushed in from the other side. BCJ good for a 3rd as well. Ethan looking for the peak. Weeded punishes him. He going in a 1v4. 1.
Spike down mid.
Just down to 11 health, man. Maybe if he lands that second one right off the transfer, you got something cooking, but it was just too much.
NT. And 10-9, XSET. I mean, the Hunter's Fury, he pulls the drone through A main, goes towards door, looks for the tag there, and then he must have spotted maybe the gun of Nitro over there on the right side of Hell. Just beautiful reaction, pops the Hunter's Fury and solidifies it on the 3rd bounce. And despite 100 Thieves maybe getting a little bit greedy over there towards mid, that somebody must have heard and called that out for BCJ, because both players were ready on that flank.
Yep.
Gets denied. And hey, listen, I mentioned a couple times in the first map, and again here, you brought it up. 100 Thieves has had a cushy economy throughout this entire set, and yet here they are, forced onto some pistols and a Bucky at last. See what XSET can do with it.
Map 1 went down to the wire. Map 2 looking to be a bit of the same, as 100 Thieves fight to keep a narrow 1-round lead defensively. And they're spread, I don't want to say spread a bit thin, but just kind of waiting to see where they're going to be pushing from. The thing is, XSET hasn't shown a ton in the opening moments of this round. But even with that, look at Ethan. He's postured up very aggressively. Aaron may get a shot at him. Ethan spotted him. He's just going to back off, right? And look at the rotates back immediately.
Yeah, Steel had gleamed that info. Nobody's in A main, probably 10 or 15 seconds prior. Ethan confirms it. And the stack is going to be tough to crack, but
Ouch.
they're doing all the right things right now, XSET.
Yep. Yeah, they are not giving Ethan a chance at landing any nasty sheriff shots. Dwifo goes up top. Again, the verticality that you introduce into this map, which we see more and more as Sage enters the fold. But it's still difficult to kind of adapt to and be around. But my gosh, 100 Thieves making this interesting. That res should certainly help things as Aaron comes back. Nitro Sheriff, 1. Not able to get a second.
10 seconds left.
Steals elsewhere. Now he's got a lockdown, right? Like, and there's a world in which he can invest the lockdown if he wants to trap them in on the site. But the thing is, he can't even make his way out towards the middle of the site, right? Like he can't even do that because Aaron's on a great spot.
Yeah. In a world where steel 1v3s. Not today. He's not going to use it. Going to get deleted by Aaron from Switch. Tough spot to be in, but didn't invest a whole lot into it. You know you're probably going to be yielding a 10th round. They made all the right calls. They stacked the right spots, but XSET kind of aware. I think that is a very telling thing when it comes to, a team's capability. If you're aware of how much information you've given and how likely it is that you're walking into a stack, it's like, okay, we know this is probably going to be where the majority of 100 Thieves is. We're going to clear everything. We're going to take our time, and they still pay with it, or pay for it with blood, right? Like a few different players get dropped. They have to use a res, to make at least 3 live through the round. But they didn't lose it, and they came away with the majority of their weaponry. So they're not in any kind of a financial crisis. They've just tied things up at 10, and really the pressure flips now, Doug, back into the side of 100 Thieves, where they don't necessarily, they don't seem threatened on this map. It doesn't look like there's some great weakness that XSET is keying in on, but they're making very good calls at opportune times, and it's paying off.
And really, it was those great calls at opportune times that put them in a position where they could have won Icebox. And again, they fell just a bit short, but XSET once again finding themselves in a position to do just that. You mentioned the finances. I mean, pure 7,100. Right, like money for days. There's, again, some of that really cool verticality that we see introduced into this map. Dude, tagged up a little bit. He dealt some damage, enough to make him think twice about it. Meanwhile, Asuna pushes his way out as well. He gets away. Dwifo manages to somehow get away with his life there.
And that's why Sage is my favorite agent right there. Actually, Viper. Never mind.
Yeah, I was about to say. All right, here we go. Lockdown coming out. Cosmic Divide going to do so as well as Asuna looks to work his way forward. It doesn't look like there's going to be anything to clear out the lockdown. As Pure gets one with the showstopper, gets traded out instantly. There is one player who got messed up.
Asuna. Oh, my goodness.
No way. Asuna might do it. Okay, Dwifo comes up huge as he gets it almost. So he got it at least to half. Oh, my gosh. He goes shock darts, but Weeded trades it out with a bit of utility of his own. Hiko good for 3. Hiko gets 4. 100 Thieves take the round.
What am I watching, man? Just madness. The Cosmic Divide comes out. The Viper walls go up. And a lot of ground gets given by 100 Thieves. They're willing to kind of, concede. All right, we've been caught, out of position. Let's just go ahead and wait for the retake. And the retake is just so potent. Hiko coming in with probably several hundred damage worth of shock darts and handle shots there, and I honestly was so close that Asuna is just able to stick it for 10 on that defuse, Doug.
He got to like 80% of the. He almost stuck it.
Almost. Now, got a Hunter's Fury on Hiko. You got to run it back on Asuna. This is a much scarier situation from XSET than it was just a moment ago.
Now, Weeded has the Viper's Pit. Doesn't look like he wants to invest it early on. You think they're getting a good bit of info that they're coming. The wall goes up. A great dart. BCJ not able to land the finishing blow to take care of Ethan there.
Love the idea. That barrier orb for Ethan really just saves his life. Almost made it happen.
And with that, you even see, like, look at how 100 Thieves, they're still staying home towards A, right? Respecting an XSET. They have shown they're more than comfortable and more than willing to flip the map after drawing out some utility and making some things happen. But how many times have we seen Dwifo in this spot?
Oh.
Man, it's BCJ who's good for it. Spot steal as well. Not able to reach just by the narrowest of margins, but he goes Hunter's Fury, pushes him back, and Dwifo drops.
That is a huge kill from Hiko onto the Dwifo, and I wonder whether or not that's enough to deter the B push entirely. No, they're going to keep pressing forward.
Well, they don't really have time to do otherwise, Lex.
30 seconds left.
Or any map control to speak of, and Nitro catching the shoulder of Aaron through that Viper's wall, but Pure answers back onto Steel. The site is forfeit now, but Nitro looking to hold on to things, gets deleted by BCJ, and it's just Hiko in a 1v3.
Doesn't have a Hunter's Fury, used it earlier, and has to work his way into a Viper's Pit. Hiko trying to find a way in, see if he can catch any lady luck as he blindly fires into the Viper's Pit. And again, you see BCJ has worked his way around. Incredible read of the situation. How many times have we called BCJ's name?
Honestly, too many. We started the series, you know, when I was doing the pregame, I was like, I was really impressed by BCJ's performances lately, and I'm going to fanboy for a moment and say I'm excited to see what he can do. And here we are, like 2 maps in, and nonstop, I'm just blown away with how impressive his performance has been as an individual. I mean, there's a lot that you could speak of when it comes to Sova being a you know, a support or a team-based agent where he enables your teammates, but BCJ is just collecting heads with his proficiency on that agent, and 5 players now from XSET poised at A main. And they're gonna run into just that Hunter's Fury we just spoke of, and Ethan's already down.
Yeah, the wall was up too. BCJ good for it. Nico's still alive. Austin is gonna be able to res up, and he gets a kill onto Eden.
100 Thieves on a very low buy here, obviously, and not really willing to press into that melee. XSET's going to bide their time, wait it out. Perhaps make 100 Thieves second guess their rotations, as Austin already flying back to defender spawn.
And he is the only one with a rifle too, so, well, a couple of shots from Pura there should make him think twice about it. Nitro Sheriff looking to make something happen as Hiko's just around the corner as well. So they're close by. They have a decent bit of help. The wall goes up. Nitro drops. Hiko's not able to get in on the action, but actually the wall boosted him a little bit. Just don't know that it was enough to get much going. Yeah, he didn't have an angle to work with. Now Asuna has shown up. Steel's going to show up a bit late to the party. We'll see what they can do without him. Again, remember, Asuna has a Vandal, right? He's the only one who's got a rifle here. So it's most likely that if something happens, it's going to be off the back of his heroics. Already good for one onto Aaron. Looking for a second. No, he drops. BCJ takes care of him. As Hiko and Steel try to work things in. Hiko up from top. Steel working his way in. Where Pure should be able to spot him. Hiko's dropped. Steel's left alone. Kind of toying with him, trying to buy some time. Not going to do it, ladies and gents. It was a barn burner the first time. The second time seems to be the case as well, as XSET get to match point.
Match point, not a great buy here for 100 Thieves either. I mean, they're going to get what they can. I'm pretty sure. Okay, never mind. They do get an operator, 4 rifles, it seems like. But never mind. Forget my last. But on the other hand, and this kind of applies to both teams. Yeah, both teams are without ultimates. You're 1 orb off of having your res on Thwifo, but, you know, ultimately there's not anything that's going to just be a trump card going into this round.
Right.
Already XSET, who have found so much success just executing into the sites here, both on Icebox and again on Ascent. Immediately putting pressure on Steel here at B main.
Yeah, and they feel comfortable doing so. They've managed to push off the operator, and look at how Steel, with all of the boosts that they've been going up, Steel's ready for it, but BCJ manages to win that 1v1 with the operator staring him down. Pure is able to get onto one as well as Asuna looking to trade things back. Gets one. And the thing is, they haven't made their way onto the site. Like that Viper's wall is going to go up. Now, you see Spike creeping its way forward. Asuna playing very quietly on the other side. Curveball out. He swings with it. A little bit. Tag onto himself as Pure punishes him. Hiko trading it out. The Guardian good for one, but he's in a 1v4. XSET looking to put Hiko away, looking to put 100 Thieves away, looking to tie up the series at 1 apiece, and they're going to do just that, as there was not enough.